So, I have a question here to kind of kick off the panel discussion. And this is for anyone on the panel. The pressures that we face as men are immense. Father, we've heard from you this morning around all of the cultural influences, but just being able to raise a family, speaking specifically of our fathers in the room, taking care of, providing financially, but also spiritually for our families. What are some practical steps that we can take as men to build ourselves up, to be equipped for that battle? Because I find, for me, often it's daily, certainly, but sometimes it's hourly, and sometimes it's minute by minute. The thoughts come in my head, and I have to beat them back. What would you say practical steps to stay equipped?
It starts in the mind. All right, so when the battle starts there, if you're aware that it starts in the mind, you're on the path to victory. What I do, because we all face this, you're talking about primarily the battle against sexual passion, right? Is there anything that correctly?
That plus when you have all the children around and they're screaming, and the wife is just saying, take care of things, and you got it. Yes, but that...
Okay, there's two things that are actually what they are. They're the laboratory for transformation. They really are. Life itself brings us the laboratory. It's not something to be avoided. It's something through which we are transformed. So let's talk about the first one, the thoughts. Okay, the thoughts. Everything begins with the thoughts. And read our thoughts determine our lives by St. Theophan, is it?
Thaddeus Utopia.
Okay, Elder Thaddeus. Our thoughts determine our lives. That's where the battle starts. People go to church and then they come and they tell me, oh, Father, I just drifted. I said, are you aware that you drifted? He said, yeah. I said, well, when you come back to, thank the Holy Spirit, because the Holy Spirit that's bringing you to that awareness. Okay, quit beating yourself up and start working. With the thoughts come in. This is really important, because you tend to think, we're all recovering materialists. You tend to think, I tend to think, we all tend to think, that a lot of thoughts are generated from within ourselves. They're not. Thoughts coming from the outside. You live in a spiritual world. So what happens is, because we are materialists, we're all recovering materialists, like a recovering alcoholic. We're recovering materialists. We are kind of natively blind to the spiritual dimension of life. That's why we don't see that the creation is structured. That's why we don't see that our soul is structured. We have a hard time seeing that. But it is structured. And because it's structured, where do the thoughts come from? We assume that all thoughts come from us, from inside of us. They don't. A lot of thoughts come in from the outside. So the thoughts themselves, I do what St. Paisios says. I treat thoughts this way. Thoughts are like airplanes. They're always flying overhead, but you decide which ones land.
That's good. That's real good.
All right? Thoughts are like airplanes, but you decide which one lands. Now, if you're a materialist, and we're all recovering materialists, we are, because we absorb the dominant ethos of the culture. You're going to tend to think that because you have this thought, you're not as holy as you should be. Well, if I was better off, I wouldn't be having these thoughts. These thoughts aren't generated from within you. They come from without. Remember that. And there's no shame in temptation. There isn't. It's in the struggle against temptation, the struggle against sin, that the transformation occurs. So what happens is you go to prayer, where are you now?
Right.
Go back there. The first step is you go to prayer. Now, these thoughts will come to you when you're alone. All right? So, I tell you, in the car, I'm in the car alone. I don't listen to the radio anymore. I have a prayer room. This is my travel prayer room. I have a prayer room in my car. I have a prayer room at home or at night, I pick up the prayer roll and I say the Jesus prayer with deliberation and awareness. And it's strong enough to prevent me from engaging that thought. All right? It'll drive away the thought. The thought will disappear once it doesn't have power. But you don't engage the thought. You don't bring the thought in and allow and roll it around in your head, right? So that you can be stimulated by it. Start the resistance there. It's easy to resist there. And if you start the resistance there and you're victorious, you won't fall into sin. Sin, when it has temptation, when it has conceived, it brings forth sin, and sin brings forth death, James tells us in Scripture, right? It begins with a thought. It begins with a thought. Prayer can drive away that flow of thoughts. Now, the second question, what do you do when life is chaotic and the kids are running around and you have all these demands around you? What you do is you engage it with full presence of mind. All right? You engage it because that's what's required of you at the moment. And you engage it with full presence. Because I know what happens. There's annoyance. Why do I have to deal with this now? But that actually is the laboratory for your own self-sacrifice that's required in order for you to become the man that God created you to be. Right? The laying down of your life. And the best thing you can do is to engage whoever is in front of you with full presence. Be immediately in the present and deal with what is in front of you with the full engagement of your heart. Do not hold back and act right where your heart is somewhere else. Don't do that. This is what it means when it says, especially as a father, for the family, he has to lose his life, like Christ lost his life for the church. It is the engagement of life on that level with full presence, full awareness, with an engaged heart and engaged mind, is actually the place of discipline where it's applied brings you in return great creative energy and reward. Does that make sense? I get a lot of phone calls. My daughter's in college, so there's nobody left at home, but I get a lot of phone calls, and the phone calls demand my engagement. But I kind of welcome them because I meet the demand. I meet the demand. Consequently, as a result, I open up in myself the capacity to receive grace from God. And with that self-sacrifice, it requires, right, great joy as well. So for us men, especially in terms of our family, that's how we have to approach it. And men, you're going to find out, I'm sure you already have, that if you can approach it this way, and if we do, what happens is that your stability, you stabilizing yourself, one stabilizing himself, okay, in situations like that brings stability to your home and family as well, right? Here's the secret, guys, especially husbands and fathers. Here's the secret. Stabilize yourselves. Focus on stabilizing yourself in Christ. Your whole family will become more stable. Your whole family will become more stable. I tell guys, I get calls sometimes from priests that are having trouble in their marriages. Everybody has troubles, right? And I tell them, you're leaning on your wife really hard, aren't you? They go, yeah. I said, stop doing that. Stop doing that. Remember what I said about men learn how to become a man for other men? Okay? When you need masculine self-assurance, when you need direction, you go to other men for it. Go to other men. Your wives can support you, but only to a limit. Once they reach that limit, they'll collapse. If you're leaning on them for your masculine self-assurance, identity, and knowledge that you need, I'll tell you, they're not going to be able to meet that because they're not men. So go to other men, friends. This is why out of this meeting, a brotherhood has to be created. A real brotherhood has to be created. Because you'll develop those friendships with other men where those needs can be met. Because wives can't bear, they will bear the burdens to a certain degree of their husbands. They've got big shoulders too. But they can't bear the burden of you discovering your own masculine self-responsibility. That comes from other men. So I tell these guys, I say, listen, the next time something comes up in your home, and it's going to end up in a fight, you got to call me instead. If you need to dump, you dump on me. Don't dump on your wife, right? And slowly, but securely, the marriage begins to heal. So, I'm talking a lot, but when the Lord gives you opportunity where you have to die to yourself, and you really have to engage your wife, and you have to engage your children, understand that is opportunity. Understand that is the means, the laboratory by which your own sanctification, holiness, your own holiness is forged in you. Sanctus, holy, comes from the Greek holy. Right? So that would be my answer to you, man.
Thank you, Father.
I'd like to add something too. I have a couple of points. First of all, Father Hans obviously has a way of articulating things that I never used to be able to. Here's how the devil's going to attack. First of all, in the Antiochian Men, we have 4 core values: leadership, obedience, vigilance, and endurance. The vigilance is my favorite one, because the closer you get to God, the more he's going to attack. The situation about having families, I'm remarried now, I have 3 children. Their ages are 13, 10, and 8. I know what it's like to be in a loud house. I know what it's like when the demands start right when I walk in the door after work, after having just gone through a really hard day. And I know how tempting it is to just close my bedroom door, turn off the lights, and do something that is just for me. We live in a very me-centered culture. It is a very individualistic culture in this country. We were made in the image of God. God exists as Father, Son, and Holy Spirit in perfect communion with each other. So that means we were designed to experience communion. The devil wants us to think that we're individuals. The devil wants to separate us and to not form brotherhoods. This only works when we realize that we are all in this together and we have to do things in community. You, I, no one can defeat the devil one-on-one. It just doesn't work. And I've said this before, I've tried. And I've failed miserably. If you have the grace of God working through you in community, the devil doesn't stand a chance. The idea that man is an individual, Father Hans taught me this, is a lie. It's something that we have been taught in our me-centered culture, that we should be served. We are supposed to serve others. God designed marriage so that we could become more like Christ by serving our spouse. So when I walk into the door after a long, hard day at work, that's my opportunity for sanctification, to do the dishes, to do the laundry because my wife hasn't had time, to play a board game with my son. Okay? When all I want to do is go into a dark room, turn on my computer, look at my smartphone, play a game. You know how insidious the devil is in our culture? Video games are now designed with communal aspects in it. I was just talking to somebody at lunch about this. That's on purpose. The devil is trying to attract our yearning to be in community and sucking us out of reality. into these virtual worlds. I'm on to the devil's tricks. I get it now. And I want to use his weapons against him. So in our organization, we're using the good parts of technology to form brotherhoods with each other when we can't be together in person. But the brotherhood, like Father Hans says, starts here. It's local first. You take care of your own, and when men learn from other men, bonds form. And that's how we defeat the devil.
Okay, so Matt asked for practical tips, and I don't know that I have a whole lot, but here are a couple thoughts. One is, I think that we are tempted to either, Father Hans was making the point about being fully present. I think we're tempted to either escape by hyper-rationalizing and thinking too much, or escape by through activity. Both of those are used as means of not being fully present. One of the markers of the transforming of our mind is the ability to be fully present. So while we're thinking, while we're contemplating, we should be able to be present in these moments, whether it's through temptation or through chaos and the search for stability. And the second thought is something that my spiritual father said that I don't understand, which is that your active service with your children, even if it's not clear it's active service, just being with them is itself a prayer. So he said it, so I trust it and make sure.
That's great. That's great.
Yes.
So I have a question. Going back to Father's talk at the second session, those of us who have young boys, or raising young boys, broaching subjects like pornography and masturbation before they become a problem. There's the danger in talking about it and then sparking that interest and they want to go see what it is. So what do we as fathers do to protect our sons from walking down that path and being able to engage that topic in a way which they understand but is not exposing them to this world that is potentially very, very, very dangerous?
Yeah, the first thing I would do is do everything you possibly can so it's not in your house. Okay, so the kids have smartphones. The kids have flip phones, not smartphones. I just, no smartphones until they move out. Flip phones are fine. Well, I can't text with my friends yet, but it's okay. All right, it's fine. And same with the computers in the house, that they're in public places. Okay, the computers in the kitchen, where people are walking by, or the dining room, or something like that. I would not have computers in the bedrooms. I just wouldn't. And that's to avoid the temptation. Now, the thing that remember is they're going to see it. They're going to come across it. They're going to see it at their friend's house. Okay, that's going to happen. But the habituation is the problem. It's not that there's exposure and all of a sudden the person is hooked. It's not. It's a habituation. And it's like when I was talking before, the issue is really the masturbation and the porn being used as a stimulant for masturbation. But it takes a while for that habituation to form, okay? If they have a relationship with their father, and they're getting their emotional needs met for communion from their father, chances are they're not going to be habituated into this. It's not going to happen. And you can just talk about it. You can say, son, this is really dangerous stuff. They're misusing God's gift. You're probably going to see it, maybe at your friend's house or this and that. But don't go down that path. Because your father, it's the words of a father, the son will bring this into his heart. I'll give you an example. There's a kid, he's in college, he's finishing college, but he didn't come to church that much. But he would come, he came once, and sometimes the Lord speaks to you. He says he's starting to dabble in pornography. So I saw it. I didn't do anything about it. I wasn't quite sure it was a word or not. But then he came back 2 weeks later to church, and I heard it again. He's starting to dabble in pornography. And so I actually went up and talked to him. And he knew it was a little uncomfortable to do this, right? It's just kind of out of the blue, but I did. And not in any accusatory way. I'm going to call him George, they're all named George. I said, George, I got to tell you something. You got to listen to me. I said, stay away from the porn. It's just like a drug. And if you start playing with it, you're going to be hooked in. It's a lot better not to start than to try and break it off later. Okay? And so this was about 4 years ago, 5 years ago. He was in college now. He came up to me very recently, like 5 months ago. He says, Father, do you remember when you said that? I said, yeah. He goes, I was so angry with you when you told me that. He said, I was just livid. I was so angry. But he said it was true. It was all true, he said. And I said, well, did it become a problem? He said, no. He said, no, I just decided I wasn't going to do it. And it's free. You'll never be hooked on that, right? It was the connection between me and him that facilitated that. He was real angry with me that I said it, but I knew it had to be said because this is the authority of the Father, right? To bring life to the Son. And because he saw me as Father, I was priest. Even though he was angry, he was able to receive that word. And he saw it, and he at least felt it, that it was in fatherly benevolence, even though the words were pointed and direct and hard to hear. You maintain that with your sons, they're going to be fine. They're going to be fine. And because that's what sons need. That's what sons need. We all need that, as I said, because we all need fathers. That's how you're going to do it, and you're going to succeed.
I just want to add something. Again, removing the opportunity is a great way, as Father Hans mentioned. Having a 13-year-old boy now, I can really relate to this subject. But I want to talk about something I learned from Father Josiah Trenum. We had an interview with him on our YouTube channel. I was in Riverside and had the chance to sit down and talk to him. And he introduced this concept that is really the underlying struggle that men face, whether it's pornography, whatever they're trying to escape into. It's the spiritual illness that's called akadia. And many of you probably heard of akadia. It's a learned helplessness. Father Josiah has a homily about this in his Arena podcast on ancient faith. And he also called it a paralyzing apathy. It's not being concerned about your state in the world. So the reason I'm telling you this is because whenever I think about what I'm trying to help my son to avoid, I always think about what do I not want him to become, or what is the end result I'm trying to avoid. I think about myself facing temptations as a young man, as a teenager, as a 13-year-old myself. The concept of akadia applies to everything that men struggle with when it comes to temptations, when they just feel like they cannot avoid the temptation. The only way that you can put down akadia is through growing your faith. So the other flip side to what Father Hans said, which was right on, is developing the ascetical disciplines in your children early, and helping to give them the tools that they need to grow their faith. If you can build up an arsenal within them at a young age, when the temptations come, you can't avoid the attack. The attacks will come. But if they know what tools they can fall back on, then you're giving them the opportunity to use those potential stumbling blocks as a way to climb back out. And unfortunately, Father Josiah said it so well. Akadia is like the snake that it takes 1,000 hits on the head to kill. And you're hitting it 500 times. This is any temptation, pornography, whatever, using drugs. You're hitting it and you've hit it 500 times in the head and it's just not dying. And you just get tired. And you just assume that because you can't kill it, it can't be killed, so you give up. That's what a lot of men go through on a daily basis. I've gone through this myself. And just because you didn't have enough faith to kill that serpent 2 days ago, doesn't mean that you won't have enough faith to kill it today. That's a lie that the devil tells us, that this is just something that we can't get over. It's unavoidable. This person is just an evil person, and they're always going to be like that. They can never change. It's a lie. The devil wants us, again, I'm really good at knowing how the devil attacks. He attacks me a lot these days. And we need to fight back. We fight back by growing our faith, and I think cultivating that in our children. Doing the hard work that is so easy to just say, I'm too tired to do this. You know what's the most wonderful thing? You know what success looks like? I never had a prayer corner, I'm embarrassed to say, until a couple years ago. Now my son, my 13-year-old son, reminds me every night when it's dark to say, time to say our evening prayers. He's telling me to do it before I even remember that I should be headed that way. So when the temptations come again, I think that these disciplines that Father Hans has been talking about will help arm the children. Because the worst thing in the world is to see your children suffering and knowing they have to go through it. A lot of that comes through the temptations. This is where we can arm them with what the church prescribes.
So I'm asking the same question because my oldest is 9, so I don't speak from a position of experience or authority, but here's sort of some of my thinking. I'll say something that risks being unpopular. I think that we've looked at some of the symptoms of why, some of the motivations and the symptoms of how dabbling in pornography, these sorts of escapes, why we do them and what that looks like. So if we raise our young men to be distracted, to be dependent on little crutches and all the useless and meaningless stimulation that comes at them, which our society just bombards us all with. If we model that kind of distracted, escaped, distracted person, and if we allow our sense to have those kinds of toys, I think we prepare them to find escape in these kinds of ways. So practically speaking, my wife and I have chosen, we just do not have a lot of TV shows on. We will watch movies as a family once in a while, but we don't watch, my wife and I will watch TV after the kids go to bed. And I'll have sports on, and this is different for your family, but we've just decided our kids are not going to have these toys, they're not going to have iPads. And when we made that decision, which actually happened because our TV broke, what happened was our TV broke and we realized our kids were much better behaved. Absolutely true. And also, they were better in church. And you guys know this from like taking your kids to Holy Week. The first day, it's rough. The second day, it's better. The third day, it's, wow, who are these kids? So, you know, we've got a bunch of teens here. I'm going to call you out. You walk around with your little AirPods on, right? You're here in church. You got your cell phone now. Why? I want to meet you guys. I want to know you guys. What are you hiding from? You're looking in a mirror. And you know what? Some of us dads are doing it too. So it's not a surprise. I mean, it's a gateway drug.
So if Christ has something to that.
Okay, so obviously I'm not married, I don't have any children, but it's not too long ago that I was the age of some of the men in this room, or young men, I guess, kids. I really think it matters that we pay attention to who our children are friends with. Going back a decade plus in my life, it was other kids who introduced kind of degenerate ideas to my mind. I'm not going to blame that on them because at the end of the day I was still acting on these things. But who you hang out with matters, and even in college is what matters. Who are your friends? Who are your kids' friends? And to be careful not to be neglectful in any way, whether you intend to or not, of your kids hanging out with, what they're doing, how they're spending their time, etc. I think it speaks volumes, like the time my dad spent to throw a football around with me in the yard and teach me how to shoot basketball, like that is what mattered. That's what kept me from, you know, being introduced to these things until I was older. But I definitely think being intentional with your children, being intentional with them as they grow older, as they grow older as me. You know, like my dad still checks in on me. He still wants to know what's going on. And that speaks volumes. I think that helps them teach their friends. It helps them be an influence. It's not going to stop all this stuff, but it does a little bit.
Yes, I have a question about lack of fatherhood, and if, like, your father isn't able to be your father, or you don't have a father, how can you rely on, like you mentioned, relying too much on your wife? Can you rely too much on your mother? And if so,